So, is Need for Speed Unbound worth it? That is the exact question we are going to answer in this video, so welcome back to Need for Speed Unbound. We're going to start this one off with the negatives, and they're not actually too bad, but we'll get to the positives towards the end of the video. And we're going to start off with the fact that this game is a AAA title. It's going to cost you up to £80 for the Palace edition of the game. And that Palace edition doesn't actually give you the important stuff it mentions. I was under the impression that I was going to get 4 custom cars. You don't actually get those cars. You can unlock them as you progress through the story so that you can eventually purchase the cars when you have enough money. So that was a little bit of a letdown. Another thing, the art style is very wacky and the driving effects can't be fully turned off. You can basically make them minimalistic. You can minimize them down to pretty much just a glow around your car and tire smoke. But that's all you can really do. The glow is only going to be like on impact, so when you hit a jump and you land, as you land the glow will pop up. But other than that, there are no wacky effects and stuff happening. But that is as far as you can go. You still always have to have the tyre smoke, so you can't fully turn the driving effects off. And in my opinion, that is a little bit more of a negative than it is a positive, especially because people were under the impression you could turn it off through the settings and stuff. You can't do that. You have to choose a certain driving effect. Then we have the music. I don't personally like any of it. The most of it's from A$AP Rocky, and A$AP Rocky is just not my thing. I don't like that sort of music. Then we have the fact that the dialogue is absolute cringe. It is the fucking worst thing. Pretty much the whole game is just bro, bruh, bruh, bro. And it feels like your main character is a kid. They're just trying to be funny. It feels as though the whole direction of the dialogue in this story is EA trying to be down with the kids. But that's basically it for the negatives. Moving on to the positives, the gameplay is good fun. I've had a lot of fun with this game so far. The game is also open world, so you are free to explore, roam around and just do whatever you fancy doing. However, you are limited through the story to day and night sessions. So if you are just wanting to roam around, you're doing it in daytime, you want to go to the night time, it doesn't just happen in the game, you have to go and end that day session. But I think it's really cool the way they've split that up. And cop chases, when you get a high heat level, they are intense. You get heavy units, you get choppers, you get interceptors, you get undercover cops, roadblocks. There is a lot to it, and it gets really, I actually felt quite anxious and nervous when I was doing a high heat police chase. They can be stressful. But I think that's a good thing, because it just means that there's a little bit of depth to the police chases, and it's not just, oh, there's a police cruiser behind me, let's just go 160 miles an hour and just outrun them. But another thing in the open world is there are a lot of collectibles. There's street art, there's billboards, there's bear champs, you've got speed runs, speed traps, drifting zones, there are gas stations. There's quite a lot to the open world. It's not just driving around. There's collectibles, there's different events and stuff. And then moving into the vehicle upgrades, I think they're quite basic, but you actually feel the impact on your speed and your 0 to 60. It's not a really small, unnoticeable difference when you upgrade your car. If you, for an example, you change something on the exhaust and it knocks 0.2 seconds off your 0 to 60, you're actually going to feel the difference. The one small downside I would say to the cars is they do feel quite heavy. At times it can really feel like you are trying to turn a truck around the corner. Although a positive to balance that is you can just pause the game and you can tune the handling on your car. And you can change the type depending on your upgrades and stuff, from grip to drift. You can turn on or off traction control. You can change the downforce. There are a few different settings that can make it easier to actually control your cars and just tune them to your personal preference, really. The story in Need for Speed Unbound is quite predictable, but the racing in there is very good. You can also bet against other drivers, and it's not just, oh, finish first and you've won this bet. You've just got to beat the other driver. So if you've got a $4,000 prize pool, that profit after your entry fee, you've got $4,000 up for grabs, and there's someone there you can bet $1,000 on and you're confident and you win it, that just takes your prize pool up to $5,000. And that person might crash and they might come last in the race. So you don't even have to win the race. You've just got to come 7th and you get that Like that little pot that you've put together by betting on another driver or betting against another driver. So I really like that, but you've also got a variety of races. You've got endurance races, you've got drifting events, you've got point-to-point circuits, you've got the takeover, which is like drift, jump and smash obstacles to basically build up combos. But not only that, you get some open world stuff as well. You can go and pick up vehicles like I did the Lamborghini Aventador. You can go pick up random vehicles and drop them off somewhere for the people you work with. It's basically like little contracts, and you can also go pick up other racers that might be in need of help. The police might have too much heat on them. They need dropping off to a safe house, and it actually unlocks that safe house for you to use as well. In the story, you are going to go across 4 different weeks with day and night sessions for each day. Then at the end of the week, you are going to have a qualifier event to get into the big sort of grand finale. And these get really, really expensive, so it's not just about having the fastest car and all the upgrades. You've got to save some money. When you first start off, you're going to be making maybe 2 or 3 grand, possibly up to 4 or 5 at some point throughout the first week. And the buy-in for the first qualifier event is $20,000. But as well as all the open world stuff we've mentioned, there are also challenges that you get. These change every single session, so if you're playing in the day, you switch it over to night by going to a safe house. The challenges are going to change. There are lots of different challenges available, doing certain things like a J-turn during a cop chase. You'll also have things like using level 3 burst nitrous, and basically there's just challenges that come every single day, and you get cash rewards for them, so it's going to help you progress through the game as well. And it's not just about do this race, do that race, earn this money, earn that money. You have 2 different funds. You've got your actual funds that you've saved up and you can actually spend them. Then you get the session funds, which are the red ones. You'll earn these by doing stuff in the open world, the collectibles, everything like that. But you'll also get them from races. And all of this money that is the red money, if you don't go to a safe house, you get chased by the cops and you get busted, you lose it all. You have to make it to a safe house to bank that money. So it's not just about doing a race, earning money. There is risk to it, especially when you're on a high heat level. And obviously the greater the risk, the greater the reward. So there is quite a lot in the game, and overall the game's probably going to last you a good 15 to 20 hours. And obviously there's more added on if you're going for 100% completion, all the collectibles and stuff. Even though there's been a couple of stressful times, I've had an absolute blast recording my playthrough for this game so far, and I'm going to continue to have a lot of fun with it. I'm still in a very early car. I'm several hours into the game. I'd say at least 3 or 4 hours into the game by now. So this isn't a complete review. I haven't done the entire game. This is just basically first impressions and opinions on whether the game is worth picking up based on what I have played. And normally I do these videos over about an hour, but I've put at least a few hours into this game at this point. And I've only just broken into the second tier of vehicles. There are another 3 that I can go through, so there's still a lot for me to do being 3 or 4 hours into the game. And one of my biggest positives for this is I have not come across a single bug or anything like that so far. So I'm going to say based on that, I recommend this game, and I say yes, Need for Speed Unbound is worth it. But that is only if you don't mind the art style and the cringe dialogue. If that's the case, you are going to have fun with this game. The gameplay and the cars definitely do make up for it, and there's quite a lot to do in the open world as mentioned throughout the video. So that is it for this Need for Speed Unbound video. Check out this video if you want to see my playthrough on the channel. I will see you in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.